Hello friends, it is me, Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a video about all the things, not all, some of the things that I did in 2019. So let's get into this. Let's go. So January, what did I do? I started off this new year by posting on Instagram a picture in Austria saying, I hope this is the year that I go back to Austria. And well, now here I am in Austria, so I'd say I done good. But I started off by hosting one of my friends, an exchange student, and she stayed at my house and I showed her all around Vancouver and Portland. We went to Salt and Straw, we went to Voodoo Donuts, we went to Powell's, we played and took pictures with all of the animals and had a wonderful time. I applied to this program, Fulbright Austria, that I am now working for. I bought lots of fun, more funky clothes, fun patterns, fun colors. I turned 22 years old, whoop-de-doo. And I also went to my first indoor track meet and competed in the 800 meters, which is really cool. And then I went to our Asian American Union's event, which was the first event that they'd ever hosted, which was awesome. Lots of cool food, speakers, people I got to talk to, and just really enjoyed myself there. In February, I started off by going to the International Student Union dinner, which was a very big event that I helped volunteer at beforehand. Very cool, lots of international from all the different cultural clubs. Really enjoyed it. Would go again. Highly recommend if you're at Gonzaga. Go. It's a good time. And then I raced a little bit more in track and I was dealing with the cold weather, a lot of snow. My mental health took a little bit of a dip. When the weather gets rough, it's a lot harder for me to stay positive. But I spent time with friends. I went to sports games, basketball, women's basketball at Gonzaga. I went to quite a few games, yeah. So in March, I went to my third drag show at Gonzaga. It was a fantastic time. And then afterwards, I went to a gay bar for the first time, and there was also a mini drag show going on there. And I went with a friend of mine from Gonzaga, and that was a blast. And then I went home for spring break, really enjoyed doing some more photography, hanging out with the pets and the animals. Then I came back, outdoor track started, raced outdoors, which was really, really fun. And then we had our Sweet 16 watch party for men's basketball. That was the news came and we watched the game on the big TV, and that was a fun time. I had to say goodbye to a lot of my Japanese friends as well in March. They flew back to Japan, ESL students that I was really good friends with, and then that was really, really sad. But friends come and go and they'll be friends for life. And in April, the weather started getting better. It was sunny. I was smiling a lot more, just enjoying my last month of university before I graduated. And I also went to the Lavender graduation, which was a wonderful event. It's the LGBTQ graduation, and it's a little celebration within the queer community for ourselves, which was fun. So in May, a lot happened in May. I went to a lot of end of the year celebrations. I went to the language program celebration. I was German Student of the Year, which was pretty cool. I went to my end of the year track banquet. I said a lot of goodbyes, a lot of goodbyes, some teary goodbyes. I went to my Queer Student Union barbecue. I got accepted to this program that I'm working for, Fulbright Austria. I graduated from university with my bachelor's in mathematics and my minor in German. And then I went home, chilled for a few days, and then went to Seattle to cat sit for my brother and his spouse while they went on a trip to Germany. Became friends with their cat. And then I went to my first ever photo shoot, LGBTQ photo shoot, and I met one of my online friends, the first time I ever met an online friend, Soph, in person for the first time, which was just the first of many, many online friends. I've now met 5 online friends in person, and they are very, very dear to me, and they mean a lot to me, and I love them. In June, I had some friends stay at my house mid-June, and we all went to Portland Pride together for 2 days, which was amazing. My first Pride ever. It was absolutely fantastic. The next weekend, I went to Leavenworth with my mom, and we saw one of my friends, Paige. She's currently teaching in a French-speaking area off the coast of Africa right now. She's awesome. and we saw Fort Vine, a wonderful band. It was my third time seeing them perform. We surprised them and they were so excited to see me. And we stayed in an Airbnb in the town over, Kashmir, and they had like 7 or 8 cats, and I was in cat heaven, and like I woke up in the morning and there were like 3 kitties on the bed and I was petting them and all, and it was just, oh, it was so nice. And then the next weekend I drove back to Seattle and I stayed with my brother and his spouse, and we went to Seattle Pride, and that was very fun. So my second Pride, and prides are just such cool events of like community and love and acceptance all coming together in one place, and they're just it's just all love, and I just love it so much. Yeah. So in July, I went to my second wedding. One of my friends got married, and that was a big event. It was out an hour away from where we live, so we drove there and drove back the same night, and that was just really cool to see like one of my good friends get married. And then the next weekend I went up to the Seattle area for my friend's graduation party and stayed the night at their place and hung out with them and their family and met all their friends, and that was really fun. And I also went to Sumter, this tiny little town in Oregon, and stayed there with my mom for like four days or so, and I did a tech detox. So I didn't bring my phone or my computer, just my camera, this one I'm filming on, to take many fun pictures, and just hung out with my mom. Went to a piano concert that was like a Bluetooth piano concert. You wore headphones, and then the headphones were connected to the piano, so you could like get up and walk around. And then I got some earrings there, and I've also gifted them to a couple people here, and my mom got some. And that was just very nice. Very nice weekend to spend with my mom, and like we're leaving in a couple months, because in July I also bought my plane ticket. We bought my plane ticket to come here to Austria, and it was like getting real. We bought the ticket and it's like 50 sleeps until you come to Austria, and like 50 days, oh my gosh. But now I'm here, I've been here way more than 50 days and I'm loving it. So that was July. So in August, I Skyped some of my online friends for the very first time. I did this terrain race with my mother. It was this hour-long race that was very muddy and very dirty, but very fun, very difficult, climbing over things, jumping over things, walking through things and under things. It was very fun, very hard. Would recommend. It was in Portland, in Sherwood, in that area. I cut my hair short again, not this short, just my other shortness. I went to a Rocky Horror with my sister. It was her first live Rocky Horror and my second live Rocky Horror. And I just enjoyed my last month at home, because the next month was when I was gonna fly away to this beautiful country where I am now. So in September, the first couple weeks, I hosted 2 friends. Kotomi, a Japanese friend of mine, she's on her way back to Japan. She's currently going through the US having fun. And then Soph, my other online friend, that they stayed with me for 4 days, and that was a fantastic time, like last little goodbyes in the United States, because then I was packing, getting ready to leave for Austria. And then I got to Austria, I had to move in, I had to register with the city, I had to register with the country, I had to figure out where I was gonna work and how I was gonna live. And it was just all this crazy hectic stuff. And then I went to this orientation in the city over, met a bunch of other English-speaking American, British, Irish, Scottish people that are also working as English teachers in Austria. And I also got to know my town, Amstetten, where I live in this little country in the middle of Europe. Yeah. So in October, I started work. I started seeing more of Austria, more of my town. I went on my first excursion with my students. A couple of the classes and I and a couple teachers went to see Midsommar, a film, a Swedish-American film, in the theaters. So the students were watching it in a foreign language, but it was my native language, so I could understand what was happening, no problem. And the students could too. Their English is quite good, actually. And I also worked at the ball. I worked at the bar and sold drinks to students and their parents and their grandparents. And then after my shift, I went and enjoyed the ball with the students, which was very nice. I also went ice skating for the first time in like 10 years. I went on Halloween with the Scottish assistant in my town, and I didn't fall. I almost fell a lot of times, but I did not fall. Big improvement. And I joined the running club, which I've been to 3 or 4 times now. They meet Thursday nights, and it's all completely dark, and we just run in like this little small group, and it's very nice and very cozy. Different than my running club at home, but also still nice. So in November, I went to Vienna a lot. I explored by myself. I went to Hallstatt with one of the other teaching assistants, my friend, which I'd been wanting to go to for years. It's this little picturesque town in the middle of nowhere in Austria, but I have a train card, so it didn't cost me any more than my usual monthly fee to get there, which was very nice. My students cooked me a Thanksgiving lunch, because one of the schools I work at is a cooking school, so they made these sandwiches made of turkey based and then pecan pie. They'd never had pecan pie before, and they all made pecan pie, which was really cool. I also went to Vienna and met another online friend in person for the first time, and we saw Frozen 2 together in English. It was, oh, I didn't think it could beat Frozen 1, but it did. Frozen 2 was amazing. The songs, the passion, the characters, the emotion, oh, it was just so good. So wonderful. Go see it if you haven't. Highly recommend. Started off December by going to the symphony, and then I shaved my head. There's a video for that, go watch it. And then I went to this Fulbright Austria event, this Thanksgiving event, where there were current Fulbright Austria members and former Fulbright Austria members and staff members. Just a big meal of giving thanks and talking and getting to know and networking, and it was really, 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 really nice. Yes, it was. I say nice a lot, I'm sorry. And then the next weekend I went and visited my friend in Nuremberg. There's a vlog for that, go watch it. And then the next weekend I went to Vienna again with a few classes, maybe 4 classes. And we went to this really, really weird museum. And then we went to the Spittelberg Christmas market. And then we ate in this restaurant called Centimeter. And that was very nice, getting to talk with my students. Outside of the classroom, we talked in both English and in German because they wanted to practice and I wanted to practice. So that was a cool excursion I did with my students. And then a few weeks ago, I went and saw Macbeth in the cinema with 4 or 5 of my classes and some teachers because they had read Macbeth in their English class, so then they saw a version of it in the cinema. So I got to go and tag along and experience that little fun thing with them. And then on December 23rd, Christmas Eve, I went over to my neighbors and went to their Christmas party, which I was invited to, and hung out there for a few hours and got to talk a lot of German, using that German, put that German mind to use, actually using what I learned. It's wonderful, I love it here. I'm speaking German, they're speaking Austrian German. My Austrian German is not quite there yet, but it's a work in progress. It's okay. And then on Christmas Eve, I was invited upstairs to my landlords, where I spent Christmas Eve with them, singing and eating and opening presents and under the Christmas tree and with their whole family, both of the kids from my landlords and then their families and then me, and that was very nice. And then I've just spent the last week chilling. I went to Schönbrunn and the palace and the zoo there last week because I had a ticket for that one of the English teachers gave me. And then now it's New Year's Eve, it's the 31st, and I have a couple more plans for the first week in January, and then I go back to work on January 7th. Well, that was the 12 months of Michaela, 2019. Hope you enjoyed it. Life is hard, life throws things at you, and you just have to go roll with it and deal with it. And it's how you deal with these struggles that makes you stronger, not the fact that these challenges are being thrown at you, because everybody has challenges. It's how you face these challenges and move forward with them. You just have to move forward. It will get better. So that's all I have for you tonight. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. And Happy New Year's, everybody. It's a great time to be alive. Love you all. Bye-bye.